and sit at home and think about whether we need to make any adjustments to that. And I felt there were to be casualties in this restructure of the schedule.
Yes.
There would be casualties, and if you're going to bring in new revenue, new racetracks or new locations of any kind, someone will have to lose. But I never considered the fact that we would lose the track entirely. Like, I thought some that had 2 dates may go back to 1, things like that. But I didn't think that we would just quit going altogether at some of these racetracks. But it's, we've heard that as well about Fontana. There's been some
the Rangers are coming off a win in their previous game.
Hello,
everyone. I'm Dwayne Kuiper along with Mike Krukow for EA Sports MVP Baseball.
That would be interesting.
Today's game features the Boston Red Sox and the Texas Rangers.
The tracks that we lost to go to Fontana way back when. Wasn't Rockingham and Roxborough sort of the casualties of that? Yeah, so
Darlington.
That's interesting. I got to tell you, in Dale, you're 100% right. I mean, there were going to be repercussions on this revamped schedule one way or another. And it sounds to me, from what I'm hearing, and I'm hearing it for the first time as far as this Chicagoland redevelopment, but that has nothing to do with NASCAR. That has everything to do with the government and the locals there. And they're making their plans for the future, which they're well within their right to do.
Real quick update here, because it just posted right as we were starting the show that Michael Schwartz, Joliet's director of City Planning Commission, said that the track will remain, that the rezoning had to deal with the parking lots and whatnot. It's kind of odd because the rezoning plans obviously went over all the facilities, so we don't know.
Terrific pitch there, partner. He put the fastball.
Well, I'm glad they put a statement out. Silence on, with all that information sort of leaking, and silence on that almost was affirmation of its truth. But so for them to come out, if they're doing any kind of rezoning or
makes great pitches, however, comes all the way back and gets the strike.
If they're taking away parking lots, maybe they don't need as much space as they have. They don't feel like they need as much space as they have available to them in terms of parking. So they're going to make some better use of that. It is like 15,000 acres or something crazy number, right? So let's hope that Chicago sticks around. But whichever direction is going in, I'm staying on the bus.
Next up,
I'm rocking and rolling. I want to tell you a little bit different. When I'm watching that Wilkesboro race over the weekend, that E-race, it didn't make me go into the camp of we need to rebuild Wilkesboro, but it did make me wonder why we can't have tracks like that. Those short tracks like that. It looks so awesome. And Richmond is
he hits the target for a strike.
Dale, you're going to hate it when I say this, but just from a visual standpoint, from somebody that wouldn't know how anything drives, like Richmond to me is sort of the closest thing we got to what I saw with Wilkesboro. I don't compare Bristol to it because it's just a completely different looking track. But I don't know, man. It just made me wish we had more of those, and so take that for what it's worth. It looked cool.
Or short tracks, Mike.
Yeah, I wish that's an original idea. I don't think anybody's ever said that. So let me introduce that into the conversation.
Yeah. Well, with the pandemic and how that's affected the economy, it certainly had the same effect on NASCAR. I do not see any chance whatsoever future project involving North Wilkesboro, Rockingham, or any other old track.
Starting the game for the visitors, Cliff Lee.
Big revenue can start coming in for some of these businesses.
And here's a look at the defense.
And so forth. So, with that said, I feel like that this is whether it's intentional or just forced direction.
This is an above average.
He delivers. When we were racing at Wilkesboro, Rockingham, and we had a lot smaller crowds, like we sell the place out and 60, 80,000, whatever. Same thing at Bristol for years in the 80s and 90s. We just kept adding seats, right? And we just were getting bigger and bigger, right? And then the balloon popped.
To the right side.
We're coming back off of that high.
Out number one.
And we're understanding, or we're finding where we fit backwards and where we fit, right? And we don't fit in some of the bigger venues that are holding 180,000 people. We will again one day. We may.
Things change.
things change. The way people consume, and this is a bigger conversation. I don't want to really get down this rabbit hole, but the way people are consuming the sport's changed as well.
Yes.
But anyhow, I don't have a problem with us going back to smaller venues. I don't see it as a negative or a bad sign for us to go try to race in front of 60,000 or 50,000 people at a short track. I just, I don't. I still think we'd have an amazing product to put on network television. I still think that people would consume it.
He was trying to get the batter to chase
just as eagerly. And if that's where we're headed, long term,
his fastball.
and this is a part of that, a track such as Chicago going away.
Hates the inside
I
corner.
wish it would.
Strike
I
three.
would love to.
He goes right after this guy to hit the strikeout. That is great stuff.
Stay on the schedule, but if it's inevitable for us to be headed
Play
toward
lock is next. This guy has some
going back
success
to
against
some
left-handed pitchers.
previous
outs
version
and
of
nobody
ourselves,
on.
where we might have been in the 80s or
Hit
early
towards
90s
the shortstop.
in terms of paints and
He
tracks
makes
and
a
so
great
forth.
catch mid-stride.
I don't have a problem with that.
After one, the Rangers trail
and
by
that's why
one.
I don't really ever buy into
Up
the
next, Trot Nixon.
the idea that we're failing, that we're not healthy, that we can't succeed,
One
we
ball
can't
and no
win
strikes.
in any environment. People love to race. Owners love to own cars. Drivers love to drive them.
Fastball for a
NASCAR
strike.
loves to organize races. That's all you need. Fans are going to show up and consume it.
There's
Whether
a
it's
drive,
on a
headed
grand
way
scale,
back, and
whether
it's
it's
gone.
40,000, 60,000, or 180,000 people. I've been in
He
all
knew
of
that
it,
one was
and
gone
it
the
all
second
great.
he hit it. What a shot.
So for me, it can succeed anywhere. Go ahead, Mike.
On that note, I just want to tell you, as we get back racing, this coming week, the thought occurred to me that I hope the drivers, especially the young ones, understand the situation and the opportunity that we
First
have.
pitch a
Because,
bit low.
we had the Daytona 500 this year, and, everything lined up to really be a big day for the sport, and then it rained, right?
2-0.
And it felt like a big downer. I think we have a situation again where if the drivers can take a different approach and not be a little selfish,
This guy's a horse.
not be
Every time he
the
goes out,
mentality
we
of
expect him
I'm
to
just
do
glad to
7
be
or 8
back
strong
racing,
innings.
but rather understand that the whole
fastball
world is
in
going
for
to
a
be
strike.
watching, right? We have an unprecedented opportunity. Well, unprecedented,
Ball
maybe
four.
similar to 79,
Watch
right?
always seem to come around
1979.
to hurt
You got
you.
the
He
whole
falls
world
behind the
watching.
batter and just never
I
gets
hope
back into
they
the
bring
bat.
it. I'm telling, leave it
Stepping
all
in,
out on the
Mike
table.
Lowe.
Just go after it. And
This
if
righty
something,
doesn't exactly
ticks
rip
you
like
off,
right-handed
own
pitching.
it. Don't sit there and
This
play,
dude's got some moves.
well,
He
this is
knows
getting
how to
try.
pick a pitch to
I
move on.
really
Don't be
need
surprised if
to
he's taken off right here.
almost, I hope that they take a
Balls a
mentality of a showman. Not to make it fake or phony, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying is, don't just be so
That's a
narrow-minded
three-pitch
that I'm just
strikeout.
glad to be back racing
Three
because I'm
pitches,
getting
three
bored in the
strikes, wouldn't
house.
be
But
easier
this is
than
an
that
opportunity for the sport, and I was thinking about this weekend that, people that really have a grasp of the situation understand
Worth
the
is up.
opportunity you have in front of them, and this one could be it for our sport
One on
if
and
they
one
hit
out.
on all cylinders.
Yes.
A lot of things have to happen, and
Sadler
let them not
deals
happen
strike
naturally.
one call.
And if they don't, they
This guy
don't.
can steal the
But
bag with
the,
the best
the
one.
worst
He
thing
could
that
be
can
going
happen
on
is that
this
we
guy.
have a fantastic
It's the other way
race,
out to right.
and then
Nix
you have a
should
driver
have no
that just gives
problem.
kind of a
The catch is made.
a bad take or just get stormed off.
picked that
If
ball
you
right
get
off the
pissed
bat,
off,
Cam's under it for an
do
easy
the
out.
interview, share your
Sheets
emotions,
makes his way to the
call
plate.
people out. Race
There's more than just a
race
few righty
as hard as
hitters
you
who are
can.
superior
Don't let people.
against right-handed
Give us a
pitchers in this
show
game.
because this is the time when we
Partner,
can
this
really
one is
maximize.
excellent at reading pitches
Yeah,
and
that's a great
clear
point.
deliveries.
That's a great point.
If you win here.
And I think that
It's a fair ball.
the key,
Can't get a grip on
I
it.
think the key to tie on to the back end of that mic is
He
as we go
reaches
into
with a single.
the fall and everyone else starts firing up. All these other sports, every sport that we know or you could think of is going to be happening.
Dirksen comes to the plate.
We are, we're going to be fighting for attention, and so however we can come out of the gate. I
There's
think,
strike
set the
one.
momentum. We see that in our numbers as a network,
Yes.
and we
Hit to
we
right
look at that as
field.
NBC.
Nix should have
We
no
watch how
problem.
Fox does at the start of the year because
Out number
their
3, side
their numbers of
retired.
success directly plays into how our season's going to go. We say our season, how
Heading
our
into the
coverage
bottom
is
of the
going to go.
second. The score is
Fans-
2-0.
Even though they are changing networks at mid-season, their mood and their
Here's a
excitement about the
right-handed
year
hitter that has
is the
moderate
same.
success against
Who the
left-handed
players
pitchers.
are, what the storylines are, how they've been fed that information.
fouled it off
how
to
they've
the left.
consumed it is all the same. And so how we come out of the gate is going to be really, really critical to how we can sustain our success beyond that through this fall. That is, if everything goes according to plan.
To get the fly ball
This year, and what people are starting to talk about is if anybody stubs their toe and what could derail this and send us all back home. So hopefully everybody does everything they need to do, and
bring
we
it.
have a great successful. Yeah, we have a great successful race on the track and
to the left side.
It's home healthy.
2 out.
All right, here we go. We're going to get ready to live stream. Ready?
Hey everybody, it's Dale Jr. Welcome to the YouTube portion of this podcast, the Dale Jr. Download, brought to you by Xfinity.
He turns on it, and it's
some
a
great
fly
partners
ball
of
right.
our
1,
sport
2, 3, and
partners
inning
of
is
this
over.
podcast.
After
They
2
sponsor the
innings,
Ask
the
Junior portion.
Rangers
So
trail by only 2
this is
runs.
obviously coming to you on our Dirty
The
Mo
next
Media
batter is
YouTube
Manny
page. Make sure you
Ramirez.
follow Dirty Mo Media on all social handles. Leah's here to handle your questions. Mike Davis here as well. So let's get started, Leah.
All right, first question is from David
Here's
Carden.
the pitch.
Who is a driver that's not a household
He's
name,
going
past
back
or present,
at the
that you
track.
wish you could have raced
The wall.
against?
Not a
Home
household name.
Did he wishes he could race
And
against?
the
To
ball's
have
kept
race
going and going and going.
Wish you could have
Sweet
raced
work on the solo.
Called short tracker or something?
Oh, who's that? I don't think about things like that. And let me explain. I don't.
Next up,
There's
David
not a time
Ortiz.
in my career where I thought, man, I'd really love to race that guy.
Fastball
You know,
inside, 1-0.
like Tim Richmond.
Sometimes you try
People
to make
might
him
think
chase your
man,
pitch.
Tim
That's
Richmond's
exactly
cool.
what you saw right
what
there.
would have been like to see him continue his career had he not passed away. I think about things like that, but I never went, I never looked at the guy and went, man, I'd love to have raced him. Especially a name that isn't a
There's a
household
line
name.
drive.
I just wanted to win. I didn't want to
He's
feel
on
the race
first
up
with
with
a base hit.
people that I wanted to race.
Ortiz
I
will
never really
always
kind of
execute
approached it that way. I
You
don't know
ask him
how
to get
else
something
sort of
done,
articulate
it gets
that, Mike.
done.
You know what I'm saying?
This
Does that
righty
make any
knows how to
sense?
handle right-handers
The
on
household
the
name
mound.
thing makes that almost impossible because let me give you an example. Like, if you went down the road, like saying Scott
Slider
Bloomquist,
breaks
well,
in
even
there
Scott
for a
Bloomquist
strike.
isn't. He's very
name.
popular, hugely popular, right? But
But I wouldn't even want to. I never wanted to race him.
no, understood. But I'm just
He
using it
makes
as
the
a hypothetical. It's just to not be. I mean, like most people would say something like, I don't know, AJ
The
Fort
Rangers
or
have a righty
whoever.
getting
But
loose in
that's
the bullpen.
so to say not a household name would have to be somebody like
Nixon steps into the
cousin
batter's
that nobody
box.
knows about or something.
Yeah. Being on the racetrack
one
with
out.
somebody is not
They
a
set that
enjoyable
defensive play
experience.
depth. You can get a ground ball right here. They might get two.
Yeah, being on the racetrack with a competitor in a race is not something you look forward to.
On the ground.
It's part of the. It's a necessary part of it.
Double play.
You don't
Now there's
necessarily.
a great example of the defense
doesn't make
picking
it
you up.
fun,
They
it
turned a
doesn't make it-
sweet double play right
It
there.
can make it less fun. You can't have guys that you hate to race.
Score
There's a lot
one
of
that
those.
half inning.
That's the easy question. But there's no guy.
is the next hitter.
There were guys that you would like
Pitchers
to
won't be
beat.
worth too much
That
of
probably
this.
would be the other question is who would, that would probably be the way to ask that question is to say, who out there would you love to race against to beat? Who would you want to beat? And that would be guys like, my dad. I would want him, every time I raced Dad, I wanted to beat him. I wanted to finish ahead of him every single time. Beating Kelly Yarborough,
Swinging a
guys like
high
that.
fly ball
But I
to
never
left
enjoyed
field.
racing
He puts
against
it away.
a guy, if that makes sense. It's kind of like when you play video games with your buddies and you win some, you lose some, but do you really love the
Caught
opponent
him looking.
or the game?
He showed excellent command with that pitch. A strike right on the edge of the
Yeah,
zone.
so every time you would say, that was fun, hey, Martin, that was fun, or whatever,
Right.
you're talking about the actual race, not the fact that it was
Actual-
Martin.
Yeah.
And here's
I'm
the
surprised.
delivery.
Yeah, I got you.
Three-pitch strikeout.
Wow. That actually was fun.
I enjoyed that.
Sweet pitch.
Crazy.
We didn't become enemies in that time we were racing each other. We actually enjoyed it. So I never,
All right.
I guess I answered.
So there's another Mike Davis in this world, and he wants to know why are your dad's 1984 85 Wrangler cars referred to as the Blue Goose? Can you explain that?
God, I don't even know.
Because there are not too many ballparks over the
That's been a good question for David Allen for this year.
Blue Goose. You might figure that out for us. I've heard that faintly somewhere, but I don't even know what that means.
Alexander Brown wants to know, how were you able to acquire the Unical 76 Globe from North Wilkesboro?
Well, I think I saw a picture or a video somebody did with a drone of the racetrack, and I was watching and saw that 76 ball. And for whatever reason, so most of my life, so if you're going to play a video game, and I've played a lot of video games, I still play a lot of video games, especially when you're like in Call of Duty or Counter-Strike or any of those first-person shooters, right? When you jump in the game, it says, hey, what's your name? What do you want people to see is your tag? Or if you start a game with tag on Xbox, right? You're gonna name, give yourself this cool name. For decades, I've used Unical 76, and the reason why I used Unical 76 is because I love the color. Orange is my favorite color, and paired with blue, it's just a cool combination. And it was prevalent in NASCAR. And just thought it sounded cool. Unical 76.
No chance.
So I always used Unical 76 whenever I would.
Pitchers ahead, 1 and 2.
Sometimes you try to make
video
a
games and need a game tag or something like that. Anything. So when I saw that 76 sign still standing at the end of pit road at North Wilkesboro after all these years, I mean, two decades later, it's still sitting there. I reached out to Marcus Smith and them and said, hey, man, you guys going to do anything with that? I'd love to take it. I'm with the intent to put it back up, to make it functional, to save it, keep it. And I've got a big 76 ball that was hanging outside the racetrack at Talladega. They actually would climb up in the MRN guys would climb up inside it and call the race from that corner wherever this ball was located. There were 4 around the racetrack in Talladega at the time. When Sunoco came in, they came and took them all down. So they would lay them outside out back in the field behind the track, and I drove by. Schrader got one. I got one.
Colby is on YouTube, and he wants to know, do you think there will be any more pro invitationals in the future? Maybe an off-season all-star race?
I think that there will. This was too successful, and the participation from the drivers increased, and they seem to find enjoyment in it. At first, a lot of them were racing and weren't good, and when you're not good at something and you're kind of asked to do it, not really out of preference, you don't really enjoy it. But as they got better, they became it became something they really started to enjoy. They started to see light at the end of the tunnel. So I've been in the conversations with some of the people at iRacing. They would love to have a winter heat style event, some sort of a short series when the race season's over. Maybe in December, January, or something like that, to just a very short, abbreviated version of the Pro Invitational. And we'll see what that looks like, and I certainly expect it to be a possibility.
Brady Reaver wants to know, do you think there will be multiple winners or 1 or 2 dominant cars in these upcoming races?
You know, that's the thing that I fear, I guess, or I worry about the most is, I've seen this my entire life as a fan or a driver. You'll show up to the racetrack, somebody just hits on the delivery out there, just in a field, in a league of their own.
Sometimes you try to make a hit or chase your pace.
I expect that to be a real possibility at several of these races when you show up and don't practice and don't qualify, and you just line them up. You're going to have some guys miss it big time.
Hit to the right side.
Some drivers that are miserable in the car because it is driving terribly and so bad there aren't anything they're able to do in the pits to fix it. So I would have my scanner going because it's going to be a hot topic. Right, the scanner's going to be scanner chatter on the drivers is going to be colorful. So that's one thing that I'm anticipating. Yeah, I expect to see a couple guys really either by hard work, engineering dedication, or sheer luck really hit on a hot setup that separates them from the field.
Down he goes on strike.
At each of these tracks we
Three
go to, and
pitches,
it might
three
not
strike,
be
doesn't get easier
the
than that,
same
partner.
car or team every time. It could be, whereas usually in seasons we see organizations that thrive over a period of time. This could be a little more spotty.
Comes to the plate.
A little more. There's
Against
real
left-handed
opportunistic
pitching,
opportunity.
Ray does already.
Really opportunistic opportunity for people. That's even worse.
There's a strike with the curveball.
It's prime for the picking man. You can get in there and steal
towards the
show
shortstop.
if you do it right. This is so unprecedented.
It's a single.
No practice, no qualifying.
that one, man.
First lap would be the
Not
first
quite
lap.
make the play. Good effort.
We can't even
Next
begin
at the
to
plate,
expect
Lance
this,
Nix.
but it's not going to be anything that we've seen before. I'm sure.
Yank
All right,
to the
guys,
right
that's it for
side.
today.
Gathers it in with
Opportunistic
his glove.
opportunities.
Takes care of the side
Very
with the runner
opportune.
left on first.
Keep your eyes open.
With 5
Thank you
innings
guys
left
for
to play,
tuning in
the score is
to
3-2.
Ask Gina Portion is
Leading
podcast
off,
presented by
the
Xfinity.
1-2-3 hitters.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Dale.
Hey, have you watched anything good?
1-0 the count.
Yeah, actually, I got into this show on Hulu called Handmaid's Tale. It was really good.
Handmaid.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, if you guys want to watch Handmaid's Tale, is that right?
Yep, that's it.
Handmaid's Tale. If you guys
He
want
hits
to watch
it
that,
hard
here's
up
your
the middle.
opportunity because Xfinity customers,
Good
through
start to the
Xfinity
inning.
customers,
The
it's
leadoff
Watchathon
single.
week now through May
Now that they've got
17th.
somebody out, let's see if
And
they
it's
can
the
go to
perfect
work.
time to finally watch all these
Stepping
hit
in
shows
with
and
one
movies
home
that
run, Manny
we've been talking
Ramirez.
about for free. Billions on Showtime. It's
Okay,
there.
this team goes
Outlander
out
on
to
Stars.
Studio
That's
Dragon.
there
Now's a great
too.
time to
And
go.
for the first time, Hulu and Peacock, NBC's new streaming service, is there as well. Hey, Mike, we've got something coming up on Peacock soon, don't we?
You better believe the very people that bring you the Dale Jr. download are also
count's 1-2.
currently in production
He's batting
of Lost
306.
Speedways. It'll be
21
exclusively
home runs and
on
57
Peacock.
RBIs.
Now's the perfect time to catch that show you've always wanted to try. Just say, "Show me Watchathon" into your Xfinity
He's
X1
rounding
voice
second.
remote and let us know what you've been
He's
binging.
on first with a base hit.
And let us know what you've been
Great job to get
binging.
from first to third on the hit. That's a heads up.
Binging, binging,
Binging.
binging.
Binging. That's tough, man. All right, odd history. Buckle up, enjoy.
Stepping in at a perfect 2 for
Odd
2,
history.
David Ortiz.
All right, we've spoken about the big pre-race stunts before on the show.
Okay, all he's got to
Humpy
do right now
Wheeler,
is drive that
he
ball to
was
the outfield,
here,
pick up that runner
and we
from
found out about cool stuff of Jimmy the Greek, right? Jimmy the Flying Greek.
Slider.
And how he had never actually jumped a bus before he was jumping buses.
That's right.
On
Right?
the ground.
So Jimmy, when Humpy hired Jimmy, he just
Got him for the out. And the
didn't
run
even do jumping
scores.
buses.
Got that double play with smooth silk, just like the
Well, we got a new
Kawasaki,
one.
boy.
Oh, an old one. And an odd one. Cuda Bucks.
Cuda Bucks.
Cuda.
Cuda Bucks.
Cuda.
I think I've heard of this.
Cuda.
Jackson
Cuda.
takes one inside.
Cuda Bucks.
Sometimes you try to make a
Okay.
hitter chase your pitch.
This
That's
was a
exactly what you saw right there.
63-year-old mystic firewalker
Missing high
and
with the
magician.
slider.
And he was a special guest in the May 1968 race weekend at Darlington Race.
2 balls, 1 strike.
I've heard of it. He was born in Kashmir,
Swung on and missed.
Pakistan, and became world famous for doing many unusual and dangerous things while blindfolded. He would shoot cans off children's heads with a pellet gun. He would read dates off of coins. That doesn't seem too hard. And more.
The pitch is hit to center field.
Hold it! Not only did he shoot kids' heads off, but he also
Oh, cans off their heads.
And he would read the date on a coin better than anybody.
blindfolded.
Michael Young.
Let's get that straight. He didn't shoot kids' heads off. Pets' heads are falling off.
During a practice
This guy
day
loves
in
to
May
whack balls up
1968, Butts was in the press room and impressed track PR director Jim
Swing
Hooker
and a
by
miss.
covering
Went too
his
soon.
face with 2 sections
He
of
swiped 4
newspaper
bases.
and copying lines Hunter drew and playing tic-tac-toe.
The pitch is
blindfolded.
taken out to right.
Now the famous magician
Makes the catch to record the
wanted
out.
to take his
Track
talents
that ball very well
outside,
off the bat, camped under.
and he wanted to go up on the high banks of Darlington. He wanted to drive around the Lady in Black blindfolded.
Base is empty with 1
He
out.
performed this stunt at Hickory
On the
Speedway
ground.
back in the 50s. because I had tweeted about this many months ago. And he also did this at New Jersey, the Old Bridge Stadium. But this was Darlington to prove beyond a doubt that he couldn't see anything. He had Leroy Yarbrough cover his eyes with dough and cotton, and then he finally wrapped his head in layers of cloth, which Leroy said was just like doing up a mummy.
Right, how would he know? Just like I used to do when I rolled up the mummy.
The second baseman.
That's my Egyptian days.
Bucks walked over to a convertible and he got in. Now get this, Yarbrough actually hopped in with
Here's the pitch.
to the Bucks. Leroy said
A pitch just off
he's not
the
going to
plate.
hurt himself, so I should be safe. That's crazy.
Interesting mentality.
So there's Leroy in the back seat of a convertible with a blindfolded Pakistani magician behind the wheel. Old Cooter made it happen. He pulled off pit road and made a lap, and he didn't hit a thing. And it
That's the final out of the inning with a runner stranded on second.
in my
With 4 innings left,
so
the
I've got all
score
these
is
books
4-2.
and magazines from
Next up, Trot
I've
Nixon.
got some old race programs
You
from
won't see
Hickory
this batter
Speedway
hitting the lights out
Um,
against right-handers.
that they were sending out, and they had
One
this
ball,
guy
no strikes.
come over
Sometimes you
every
try to make
weekend.
a
He
hitter
was
change
there
your
almost
pitch.
every
That's exactly
weekend
what you
in
saw
the
right there.
mid-50s. And he would
the
drive
count
around
is
the track
2-0.
blindfolded
Sometimes you try to
around
make a hitter
parked
change your
cars.
pitch.
They would
That's
park
exactly
cars
what
out on
you
the
saw
track,
right
and he'd pull out there and drive around the track without hitting cars, weaving in and out of it. He did some sort of weird thing, different type of trick each week. And
Out
so
of
it's
the
interesting.
zone,
I
that's
did
a
not
ball.
know that they sort of hung on to this dude and brought him on out to Darlington in 1968. I mean, he'd been
The count runs
around
full.
Hickory doing it for a while in the 50s. Pretty cool.
Hey, with no practice,
Said he had a six.
with no practice of qualifying
They
this
checked
coming
down at
weekend, I
third.
bet a bunch of them drivers are going to look like Cuda Bucks.
Yeah.
They said he had a sixth sense.
Okay.
Looking for a ball.
All right, everybody, last call.
No outs and a runner on first.
Great show, Mike.
Yeah,
Pitch
man.
misses
Great show,
for a
Leah.
ball.
Good show, Lee. Good show, Matthew. All right, anybody want to get any merch? I got to get some merch. So we've been shooting this Lost Speedway stuff, and I've been seeing all the merch. All our guys are wearing.
Oh, that's right.
I'm sick of this, Mike.
Listen, you got a whole stack of it in my office. We just happen to be self-isolating. And,
I want hats and T-shirts.
I got
damn
you.
it.
You do. You do.
That
I
is
know.
rolled
And
in.
I knew this
I
was
gotta-
coming. Look at Leah right
I-
now.
Well, I don't know about that, Phil. He needs to find
Yeah, Leah's got one of those.
Merch?
No, there isn't.
Do I need to go to dirtymomedia.com and use the code DJD10 to get my 10% off?
Well, if you do, you will get 10% off using that discount code. I think that's what's important here. Yes. That's what I'll do.
There's a white shirt that says Dirty Mo on it, and then there's this white and blue trucker cap that I really love. Go to dirtymomedia.com, DJD10
Makes
for
the
10%
grab
off.
for the out.
Subscribe to Dirty Mo Media's YouTube
Rangers
channel.
have some
New
pitchers up in
content
the
from the
bullpen.
past few days includes the Bringing Back Wilkesboro short
next,
documentary.
Jason
About 20
Worth.
minutes of your time, and you will
This guy
not
is
be wasting
okay
it.
against
It's a
right-handed
great
pitching.
documentary. Twitch highlights from my race at Wilkesboro that we ran last Saturday. Very funny stuff.
Did you like that?
I thought y'all did a great
Behind the
job.
pitch.
That was
I
good.
thought y'all did a great job with those highlights.
Jason Schultz.
John Hunter.
John Hunter.
There's some boys out there spazzing.
Spazzing. That was my favorite line.
Oh my
Spaz it
God.
out.
He's on with a single.
It's like when somebody walks around, it's like when somebody walks in the room with a dangerous object and they don't realize how they put everybody else in the room at risk.
That's a great analogy. It
That's
really
what
is.
it's like racing some of those guys.
Yeah.
Man, you cannot control the car you're driving. All of last week's podcast highlights.
He's
Yes.
hitting
All
240
of last
with 4
week's
long balls
podcast
and 28
highlights.
runs
Not just
batted
this show. Your Bumper Clear.
That's cute.
All the highlights
Gathers it
are on
in
the
with
Dirty
his
Mo
glove.
Media
2
YouTube
outs.
channel. This is the best YouTube channel on YouTube. Clearly. So go subscribe.
On that note, when a lot of people say, "Man, I wish y'all would play or put the TV show or put more in the TV show," we basically put everything that is from our podcast on this YouTube channel, and it is basically an extended TV show. So there you go. Just go to the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
This is a reminder that the TV show that Mike's talking about airs at 4 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. NBC Sports Network. Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Eastern, NBC Sports Network to watch the Dale Jr. download. We want to congratulate all of the graduates of the class of 2020. This has been an unusual year for everybody, you guys included, but we're proud of you. Congratulations.
Sometimes you try to make
have fun, enjoy yourself. When everything sort of gets back to normal, do what you got to do to have fun. Go enjoy yourself. Congratulations, class of 2020 graduates. Anybody want to add anything?
Well, yeah, I will say congratulations to my nephew Blaze, one of my favorite people, a good person. He's graduating. He's sad that he didn't get to do his prom and didn't get to do his final varsity baseball.
I didn't go to prom either.
I didn't go to prom because I hated
No, you know Dale Jr. didn't go to prom. I mean,
he ain't going to hang out at the prom. I'm with you, man.
Could you have gone to prom? Could you have gone to prom? Like, did you turn down anybody for the prom? That's what I want to know.
Were the girls asking the guys in your time? That's
curveball for a strike.
Okay, I don't even know where you're trying to go with that. I'm saying, could you have gone to the prom? Did you not want to go to the prom?
You just asked me if somebody asked me to go to the prom.
Up a little bit short.
Well, the guy asked the girl. That was how it worked in my time.
Was that the problem? You just didn't want to ask anybody?
The girl that I liked was already had a boyfriend.
Womp, womp, womp.
Story in my high school.
Hey, hope it was fun, girl. Hope you had fun.
See what you missed out on.
One eye, but no one out. Yanked to the right side.
I was probably hanging out with my
goes
race.
into second hard. That's a
story we're
fielder's
going.
choice.
Doing some
He
video.
really doesn't make a very good throw here, but lucky for him, his teammate
I was
picks him up.
racing.
That's more
I was
like it.
hanging out with my street stock.
Like all the winners do.
Yeah.
I love prom. Prom was cool. So,
Why is that crazy?
I like literally everyone that could go to prom or homecoming went. Like it wasn't
Really?
Yeah.
Just because you were popular.
Let me
and
be
this
honest.
Social butterfly here.
No. Let me just sit there.
Was not
This
popular.
He reaches
I wasn't
with a
popular
single.
at all. in that stuff. In fact, I got a ton of crap from people about being, my dad. If he had a good day, if he had a bad race, I got a lot of crap on my dad. If he run over somebody or was involved in any kind of altercation, he was pretty controversial. And then other kids really fed off of it. They gave Kelly a hard time too. And she was in a lot of fights. But anyways, in my house, Dad and Teresa weren't like encouraging. Like, hey, Kelly, you want to get let's go get your dress. Mark asked you to the prom. We got to get you a dress. None of that was going on in our house. They weren't asking us what the hell was going on at school.
they weren't arranging the photos.
No. They weren't. They didn't even know prom was coming or going. They wanted to know what those damn grades were.
Run out and runners on first
They weren't
and
good.
second.
You know.
This one's going to fall in for a hit.
Otherwise, the
He
socializing at
reaches
school,
with a one-out single.
our household was
Got a ball he can handle, got on base.
about that. Whereas when I see on sitcom television shows and so forth, how the household's quite encouraging and everybody's
Next at the
kind of
plate,
in on
Lance Mix.
the whole thing, right?
This guy has a terrible time at his left-handed pitching.
Was like that, Michael.
There you have it.
Lee puts it
So not
away
the-
for the out.
Do y'all want to know what?
Popularity, Leah.
I went to I would go to a couple dances.
The next
I went to-
batter
Oh, really?
is Mike
Yeah, so
Young.
if we had a dance, I
Well, the
might.
prom's a dance.
He
There's
delivers.
two different things. They're two
Yeah.
so
Out of
two.
the zone. That's a
I
ball.
guess I'm not an expert. I didn't go to either.
When you go,
Never went to a
when you
dance
go,
or a prom.
well, when you go to the dance, you're not actually going for the
Swing
dance.
and a miss.
You're just going to hang out, sit on the bleachers, and bullshit with your friends, and get out of the house.
You're not dressing up. You're not doing anything.
You're not dressing up or anything.
Right.
You wore basically what you wore the day of school. But the prom, obviously, was the whole.
He pulls a ground ball to the left side.
Yeah. You know, the day after my prom, I was at the prom was on a Saturday night, and then I was at Talladega for a cup race on Sunday with my dad and my brother.
Yes.
I want to say Sterling Marlin in that Kodak car.
Was your family like, hey man, You know, would you like to drive the family car or this other,
For more on MVP baseball, log on to
Yeah, you definitely lived a different life. For
It's
sure.
in the game.
Sucked.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have went to prom.
I say we have a junior motorsports prom.
You know what I'd rather have? A class reunion.
Well, we've had those too.
I don't want to do that.
My class don't reunion.
Reunion.
So you know what? That's where back. This is a little lesson for all those people in high school. When you're voting for your class president and all those electives, this is where they're gonna make a difference is in 20 years when it's time to get the reunions together. Because our class president, who happens to be one of my best friends, he is so good at getting the band back together. And so we had a 5-year, a 10-year, a 20. I mean, like at this point, we've had a bunch of reunions.
3 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, dude, and they're great.
I love my high school, Mooresville. This is a Mooresville hat. But I
wouldn't even wear mine.
I want to go to a reunion.
Find that girl,
guys.
Find that girl you want.
I actually, I stay in touch with a few of the folks I went to school with.
That's a terrible time to be walking hitters.
I've made a little more effort over the last year or two to do that.
That's a terrible time to be walking hitters.
Social media and so forth, and they're like, "Hey, Dale.
Jackson will hit next.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey man, what's going on? It's been 20 years.
Yeah.
Whatever. And they'll be like, hey, we're hearing from you out of nowhere.
You went to so many different schools. That would also be hard to kind of get latched in.
This is it. I claim this one, the one I graduated from. That's the one that matters.
Yeah, I know, but my point's still valid. I mean, like, I would say as much you moved around on the early days, it made it a little bit difficult to establish big, long-lasting friendships for life.
Yeah.
Hey, Kai, he was able to get ahead in the count. The batter never caught up. Good striking.
Okay.
That was fun.
Yeah, good last call.
You want me to read this?
Let's not talk about high school anymore. Just say bye-bye.
That was fine. That was a great conversation.
I want you to say goodbye. I want you to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
No, I want you to sign us off.
Bye.
Can you be better than that? Stronger?
The show's over.
Thicker? Leaner?
The show's over, everybody.
Bye.
Okay.
The show's over.
The Red Sox will send up a pinch hitter.
There'll be another one next week.
Perfect.
The show's over. There's another one next week.
Get on with your lives. Your
Get
boring, miserable lives. We'll be back to entertain you in a week.
Get out of here.
Goodbye.
Field the first on the check swing.
Hit the road.
And we're still in quarantine.
It's a ground ball the other way.
Oh, yeah, right. That's right. Just sit still until I call your name.
Don't hit the road. Stay right where you are. We'll be back Monday.
It's time for the 7th inning stretch.
Jeez.
Bye. Check out Dirty Mo Media on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Dirty Mo.
The tying run is waiting in the on-deck circle. Takes low. Liner right at the second baseman.
Hey, that's a great play on a very tough line drive. That's one of the toughest balls in baseball to judge.
Out of the zone, that's a ball.
I'll tell you what, this guy can fly. If that third baseman does not respect that, don't be surprised to see this guy try and lay one down.
Out! 2 outs and the bases are empty. That'll do it for the Rangers in the 7th. With 2 innings left, the score is 5-3. And it deflects off the pitcher. He reaches on the infield single. Up next, Mike Lowell.
This guy's a prime candidate trying to swipe back right here.
Swing and a miss. Grounder yanked to the left side. They turn 2.
That pitcher really needed that defensive play behind him. He got the double play.
Stepping in 1 for 3, Jason Worth. And here's the delivery. This one's got a chance. Great catch.
Kite, that's not an easy play to make at all. He really flashed the leather there.
So they got 1 base hit, but couldn't do anything with it. The Red Sox turn it over to the pen. Dempster comes in from the bullpen. Fastball inside.
Look like the pitcher and catcher have a strategy in mind. So far, the batters are taking these pitches.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out.
Hey, partner, to steal a turn from hockey, that strikeout was the old hat trick for that guy.
Stepping in, Hank Blaylock. Lash to the second baseman. And he's out at first base.
Kai, every day can't be Christmas. This guy needs his head back in the dugout and keep on trying next time he gets out there.
Pulls it foul. The tying run is in the on-deck circle. He's around first. That's a double.
Batters at this level will turn misexecuted pitches into hits all the time. If the hit goes to right field, they may not want to run. The right fielder's got a cannon for an arm.
He opens up and hits a line drive. With 1 inning remaining, the score is 5-3.
Here we go. This is what it's all about, big boy.
Takes low. tripped him up. Second baseman makes the catch. And here's the pitch. Dirksen takes inside.
Looked like the pitcher and catcher have a strategy in mind, but so far the batters are taking these pitches.
Changeup over the inside edge. Strike three, and he'll take a seat.
Hey, sometimes you make a good pitch, and that was one of them. Big strikeout there for him.
Stepping in 2 for 4, Manny Ramirez. He delivers. It's hit back up the middle. That's another base hit.
Got a good pitch to hit right there, and he put it in the outfield for a single.
When this guy steps in against left-handed pitching, he expects results. The side is retired. The home team coming up next. After 8.5, the score is 5-3. Next at the plate, Lance Nix. And here comes the hook. They've gone to the closer, Keith Fulton. He's batting .302 with 15 long balls and 65 RBIs. The count's 0-2. And on 3 pitches, he's gone. The next batter is Michael Young. There's the pitch. And on 3 pitches, he's gone.
Hey, sometimes you make a good pitch, and that was one of them. Big strikeout there for him.
He crushes it. It's off the wall. He's on his way to second. Stand-up double.
Hey, that pitcher made a mistake right there, and the batter made him pay for it, big boy.
Here comes the first pitch of the at-bat. He'll be the tying run when he steps into the batter's box. 0-1. Strike swinging. He was behind that pitch.
If the hit goes to right field, they may not want to run. The right fielder's got a cannon for an arm.
Pitch in tight for a ball.
Looked like the pitcher and catcher have a strategy in mind. So far, the batters are taking these pitches.
The count is even at 2. It's a full count.
Looked like the pitcher and catcher had a strategy in mind. So far, the batters are taking these pitches.
He crushed that one. Just missed the home run. And the run comes home. The ball game is over. Keith Fulk closes it out for the save. The Boston Red Sox win it by 1.
The winning pitcher is Lee. The save goes to Keith Fulk. Thank you for playing MVP Baseball.
That was a very fun game. We almost blew it at the end, but in a good world, the Red Sox win. Cliff Lee gets his 5th win of the season. Keith Fulk barely picks up his 29th save as the Boston Red Sox win 5-4 over the Texas Rangers. 3 home runs, one by Manny, one by David Ortiz, and one by Trot Nixon. Our Sea Dogs lose 3-0. Our Pawtucket Red Sox lose 7-5, and our Wilmington Blue Rocks lost 4-6. So we were the only winners today in our organization. Ooh. Let's keep an eye on Riel Zuniga for the AA Braves. The kid shows great promise at the plate. It's not terrible. Let's see if I can find him. There's a way to find him somewhere, but I forget how. Because I can find him, I just can't find his ratings on that page. And that's what I really want to look at. It's not very good yet, but I don't know what his attributes are as far as like potential. You can usually tell the potential on the rating. Solid outfielder, all the tools for solid hitting. Doesn't weigh very much. Randy Sanchez is unhappy about his individual performance. He had a 7+ ERA before he joined the team. So he's doing better, but I can still understand. He's doing better than Kurt Schilling. So I wouldn't feel too bad. very good ERA, but looks like we're going to face the Angels next. Last time we played them, they did not have Vladimir Guerrero, and they still do not have him, so their offense is pretty lackluster. Juan Rivera's batting .360, but it's on limited time. Meanwhile, Brent Ellis is probably the best hitter in baseball. 98 contact, only 22 years old. Holy shit. All right. Well, look at that. We are leading the division, 58 and 67. Devil Rays are on an enormous losing streak. And the Angels we are going to face are last in their division, so we are looking good for now.